This session is going to be chaired by, again, Dr. Abdul Sattar, sir. Sir, if you permit, can we make you the chairperson of this session? Yeah. Thank you very much. And this session will be moderated by our own hardworking, dedicated, energetic, full of life and zeal, Miss Hina Khalid. May I request Miss Hina Khalid to kindly be here and introduce her team and also start the proceedings of the session 2 that is related to women and sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Miss Hina Khalid and a big round of applause to our chairperson of this session, Dr. Abdul Sattar. And I request both of them to kindly come up on the dais for the session 2. Thank you. Yes, Hina, please come.
Assalamu alaikum. Very good morning again. After Dr. Halima, my sister Halima, I cannot communicate like her, but yeah, I'm a bit naughty as she says. But let's see, let's make this session a very useful one. And may I request my team for this session to please be on stage, okay? Let me call all of you now. Thank you, Dr. Sattar, for accepting to be the chair of this part of the session 2. And I would just hold on my one moment. Yeah. Yeah. May I invite Dr. Anara, Member of Parliament, to the stage, please, Dr. Anara. Next, may I invite Ms. Afia Fatmat Afia from the Managing Director, A Focus Academy, to please come on stage. And now, Nazar Danish, kindly please come on stage. Here's Nazar Danish, Director of Operations at Nascope.com Singapore, USA. They are the panel members.
Yeah, before they start, let me make an announcement before they start that after each session, you are going to get this type of barcode to scan. Not now, when you will be asked. This is just for introduction, Ms. Zarina. So this is golden mic. After the session, you have to nominate one person whom you want to give the golden mic. So please listen carefully. And in between, there will be questions as well, as we have been doing since morning. And you will be entitled of the floor prizes as well. So wish you good luck, my dear brothers and sisters.
A very good evening to all of you. May I start now? My topic is Maldives sustainability towards circular economy. What I'm saying is that tourism does matter, and also the environment is a big part of it in it. So when we look at the tourism situation in Maldives, sustainability itself is the key word for us because we are a low-lying country with 99% ocean. And a lot of things happen during, from the very beginning up to today. The practices of sustainability cannot be said is well done within the whole community. But Maldives, when it comes to the fisheries and other industry, fisheries is a sustainability activity that is taken place within Maldives. But more to the when we think of the circular economy, the practice of how we take things forward is not so promising. So we need to really find ways to do it without giving the proper guidelines or without having the proper education. We are unable to really provide a good background for all of us. So as all of the participants here, we all need to make a difference whether they are Yola International or the Maldivians. I think with the collaboration of different programs we can take. So most of my findings of the whole part will be, you will be able to get from my paper later on. And when it comes to the sustainability situation in Maldives, we could say within here, the economy is heavily and relies we on the tourism industry, which contributes to like 30% to the national GDP of the whole place. And when Maldives sustainable ways, when we say it is the Maldives known for its stunning beaches, might not be so good sometimes when you go on the beaches, especially when you go around Malé, you might not be seeing what you expect the best. But we can be considered as a very clean place compared to most of the countries. So one thing that happens is the waste management and recycling part is not clearly put in place, and most of the sustainable practices like in Dubai and other countries, it is not set, but we are going to learn better. And then the eco-friendly resource promotion has started and it's been going on. And even marine conservation, a lot of work has been going on, and renewable energy as well. The sustainable agriculture program is a promising way of forward, but we need more education and awareness as we get along. That which means community education programs. As when we heard Dr. Sattar's initial official if the program, you will know that how the community reacts and acts within Maldives. But all this depends on how the policy framework is set and how the government initiatives can be put in together to make a difference. So transition into a sustainable economy in the Maldives requires a multifaceted approach that involves the government, the private sector, and also the local community. And it has to be prioritized towards sustainability so that we can protect our unique environment within Maldives with the coral reefs and everything there. When we think of how we can take forward after doing the book study, I see that people still think use and throwing away is a better way because it's easy life. But we need to get away from this easy life and start practicing a way where we can reuse, recycle, and make it in a circular way so that things can be utilized effectively. When I think of my school, from the start, they come to the class, they will start their day concentrating on our religion, but still at the end of the day, before they leave the class, they always clean the classroom. That's a starting point for them. So we need to make these small differences, different activities, or put things like that so that we can put a ripple effect to the whole community. That can be a way forward. So since we don't have much time, I think I will just conclude here and then invite another speaker to come here and carry on the conversation. Wish you all. Now, may I invite the next speaker here? So I have just now, me as a moderator and speaker, just completed my task. Can you please put on screen the next speaker, please? Yeah. Now, our very esteemed Dr. Anara Naim, you all know her very well, right? We have very few women parliament members, and Dr. Anara is an active voice for our women, and she is promoting. Dr. Anara is a principal lawmaker and Islamic scholar, as you all see, and a powerful advocate for justice in Maldives, and currently serving as the MP of Hura. I think most of you are going there, right? The foreigners team will be going there. And since like this year, last year, she's known for integrity, independent leadership, and deep commitment to public service. So now that you see that the first elected in 2004 is the only Adalat Party MP, she returned to Parliament back again in 2024. And with her work and with the interest of her topic, let me ask Dr. Anara to come on stage. Over to you, Dr. Anara.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Assalatu wassalam ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Your Excellencies, esteemed guests, dear colleagues, and our treasured island community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And a warm, heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you gathered here today. It fills my heart with immense pride and gratitude to stand before you, leaders, friends, and family of our beautiful Maldives, to speak on something so vital, so alive in the spirit of our nation, the empowerment of Maldivian women. As we pause to look back on this journey toward fairness and equality, we lift up the victories that make our chests swell with pride, while fixing our gaze firmly on the challenges still ahead. This isn't just a talk about women's rights, my dear people. It's a call to weave a future where every single one of us, from the smallest atoll to the busiest city, can thrive together in a Maldives that shines like the sun on our turquoise seas. Looking back, the roots of our strength. For centuries, our island home, like so many corners of this wide world, we shaped by traditions as old as the coral beneath our feet. Patriarchal ways held sway. Men took the helm in public life, guiding the dawns of leadership and livelihoods, while women stayed ashore, tending to homes, raising little ones, and keeping our communities breathing. That's how it was passed down through generations, unquestioned until the late 20th century when a gentle breeze of challenge began to stir our waters. Today, we don't turn our backs on this past. No, we hold it close, not as a burden to weight us down, but as the deep roots that ensure us. Our women of those days, with their quiet strength and endless grit, were the unsung heroes of our islands. They mended nets, cooked meals over smoky fires, and raised children who'd one day dream bigger, all while the world barely noticed. Their resilience wasn't just survival, it was the foundation the very sand and stone on which we have built the progress we celebrate now. The sparks of change, education, work, and voice. Education, a light for every mind. The 1980s brought a new tide crashing in a revolution that said, our girls deserve to learn too. Our leaders, with vision in their hearts, threw open the doors of schools across our atolls. Bit by bit, books found their way into eager hands, and by 2018, UNESCO shared a number that made us stand tall. 97% of Maldivian women could read and write. Imagine that education didn't just teach our women letters and numbers. It lit a fire in them, setting them to dream beyond the horizon, to build, to become the architect of brighter tomorrow. Economic empowerment, stepping into the sun. With knowledge as their wind, our women sailed into the world of work. By 2020, the World Bank told us 30% of our workforce was women, a figure that signs of change. In tourism, the heartbeat of our economy, they are everywhere, guiding guests through coral gardens, running guest houses on sleepy islands, managing resorts with a steady hand. These aren't small ripples. They are waved crashing against old ideas. From a mother selling handmade crafts on sandy shore to a young woman leading a team in Mali. Our women are proving they are not just part of our story. They are the ones writing its boldest chapters. Political representation, voices that echo. Then came 2000, a year etched in our memory when the first woman stepped into parliament, her voice ringing out where only men had before. By 2019, 6 women stood there. 5 women stood there, a record that thundered across our islands. We are stronger when all are heard. These aren't just seats filled, they are promises kept. These leaders craft laws, shape dreams, and show us that a Maldives with women and the table isn't just fair, it is unstoppable. Laws and life, building a new way. Legal frameworks, promises we must keep. In 2012, the Domestic Violence Prevention Act rose like a lighthouse, a beacon promising safety for our women. It was a proud moment, a vow carved in law, but UN Women reminds us a promise is only as good as the action behind it. Gaps in enforcement linger like clouds on a clear day, and we must chase them away. Justice isn't just words on a page. It is a shield we hold up for every sister, daughter, and mother among us. Cultural shifts, hearts and minds together. Since the 2000s, our people, especially those tireless souls at the grassroots, have been stirring the pot of change. NGOs, the gender ministry, and everyday heroes have cheered our women on as they've climbed into roles we once couldn't imagine. CEOs steering big businesses, scientists studying our seas, leaders charting our course. Slowly, the old idea that woman's place in only in the kitchen and or cradling a child is fading, replaced by a truth we all feel her place is wherever she chooses to stand. The road ahead, facing the hard truth. But let's not close our eyes to what's real. A 2016 survey cut deep. 1 in 3 women here face violence, physical, sexual, unbearable. Too many still carry the heavy load of old expectations to cook, to care, to step aside. And the WHO whispers another challenge, gaps in teaching our girls and women about their own bodies, their health. These aren't failures to hang our heads over. They are drums beating, calling us to rise, to work harder, to keep pushing until every woman stands free and strong. Together we rise, hands joined, spirits high. This progress didn't fall from the sky. It was fought for by activists who wouldn't rest, leaders who dared to dream, and friends from across the world who stood with us. NGOs amplify our women's voices like conch shells falling across the lagoon. While our pledge to the UN Sustainable Development Goals keeps us steady. Remember 2004 when the tsunami tore through us? It broke us, yes, but it also built us back stronger with better healthcare rising from the wreckage. That same spirit must fuel us now, especially for our women's health and rights. Dreaming big, our shared work. So, where do we go from here? Together, our mission. Make laws live. The Domestic Violence Act must be living shield, not dusty book. Teach to free. Grassroots programs can sweep away old ideas like monsoon wind. Open every door. Support women to start business, to lead with mentors and means, lift up leaders, push for women in politics, science, everywhere they shine. Heal and teach, bring health, knowledge, and care to every woman, every girl. Stand as one, government, NGOs, all of us, united under one sky, one goal. The SDG sweeper a truth. Gender equality isn't side dish. It is the rise and carry of a thriving nation. Every step we take ties into that global promise of a Maldives for all. Empowering our women isn't a gift we give them. It's a need we all share. When our sisters, mothers, daughters rise, our islands rise too. To the woman here, your courage is our compass to everyone else. Our power is in our unity. Let's steer how far we are sailed, but let's not drop anchor yet. The Maldives of tomorrow, fair, fierce, full of promises, starts with the sweet and heart we pour in today. Thank you from the depth of my heart. So,
Thank you so much, MP Anara. That was very insightful. Now, may I request our second speaker, my friend, and I have been working as well here and then with AFIA. And of course, now as you all can see, Fatma Tapia is the managing director of A Focus Academy, right? The topic of AFIA is female entrepreneurs' role in achieving SDG 5 in Maldives. I think it's very, very useful for all of us. Most of us are women here. So big applause. May I invite Ms. AFIA to please come and take the floor.
Assalamu alaikum. I just counted how many men were in the room. Guess what? 9 only. Now raise your hand if you are in favor of supporting women entrepreneurs or women empowerment. Only gentlemen. Thank you. Now may I ask the ladies, do you feel that in the Maldives, there are challenges we face every day? Raise your hand if you believe that. Thank you so much. Now in 2024, World Economic Social Forum, they said SDGs, all SDGs, especially empowerment of women, gender equality, we are far behind. It will take 134 years for us to travel back to today in order for us to empower women. And here we are asking, why women? Why do we need to empower women? Why we need to focus on gender equality? Do we really need to look into the reality? And our very MP, Anara, has said, shared the challenges. She shared 5 years, 6 years ago, we had 4 women in the parliament, and today, guess how many? 3. So it's reversing, right? So this is why I think as females, males, we need to work hand in hand together, knowing that, understanding that we have real issues that women faces. This is also Global Gender Report in 2024. It says 68% we need to close the gap. We are far behind in achieving gender equality. Of course, there have been progress made by models as well. Still, we are facing challenges. And this is why in my doctorate research, I'm focusing on female entrepreneurs, specifically SGD 5, because it talks about gender equality. And UNDP, United Nations, and all the development partners have said there is no SGD without women, correct? We need, and what's the ratio of world population? What's the percentage of female population? 50% of, we comprise 50% of the global population. We are women. Even in the Maldives, we are a little bit over 50%. So let's talk about women who bear all the challenges. And of course, this is the challenges we have faced in the Maldives. In addition to being a woman, we have our double roles looking after families. And social media and some scholars, they try to say, okay, women as a Muslim country, by state law, we are 100% Muslim country. And guess what? The social economy, the stereotyping is that women needs to stay at home to look after the family. Now, in reality, do we think it's possible to stay at home? How many of you here from Maldives, you are working full-time? Look, almost all of them are working. Do you think you can stay at home and look after your kids? The reality is women has to contribute to the economy of the Maldives. And that goes for all the international female delegates. We have to contribute to the global economy. And that's a role we need to. Let me share a story. I was 8 years old. My mom had 9 children. In addition, she had 4 stepchildren. That is from my father's previous marriage. And later on, he married another woman. And of course, imagine, as a woman, she had to look after the children, and also she needs to find means to make an income. So she started making hedika, the short eats, and I still remember standing in front of Majiria School, which is one of the main schools in the Maldives, selling hedika, and I was helping her to manage the money. You know, it's like those days. You give 4, 5 short eats, and just for 1 rupiah. That's how I was brought up. Another lady, she was married. Both of them, they were successful. They had a happy life. They had 2 children, and husband lost his job. And who is the managing everything at home? The husband, the wife. So everything fell onto the woman to look after. Now, both husband and wife, they had their own business. They didn't have a child, and she became the talk of the society. Now, cultural beliefs, norms, it always blame who? Woman. I'm not discrediting the men here. I know all the gentlemen, you are educated and you support men and women, but reality is different. So Anara has talked about the gender action plan, which focuses on leadership, governance, and economic empowerment. Now, my study looks at 3 different aspects. That is, looking at the challenges. Unless you talk to all these women here in the room, do you think you can identify the challenges? No. So that's one thing. And the policies. I am proud to announce I'm the champion of gender equality bill. When I was deputy minister in gender department heading, I was invited to attend Asian Development Bank in 2012, and I was the one who signed for gender equality bill. Of course, we don't get the credit, but you can see my signature. Yeah. And this is why I believe, as a group, when we talk about SDGs, without women, without empowering, without talking women, we don't have SDGs. You talk about education, you talk about poverty. Raise your hand if you think that most poorer people in the group are women. Yeah, few hands. Go and research. You will find out the statistics. Even in the Maldives, I have some information because I work with women and they are in such dire situations. You would make your heart feel with pity for them. We are here as a group of policymakers, decision makers. We can sit here and talk about what we can do. So this is my request to all of you. Whatever forum you are in, try to bring the discussion on women empowerment, gender equality. Without women discussion, okay, you will hear at every table, women have competencies, women have skills, women have the empowerment, they have all the knowledge. Why we are not at the top at the decision-making level? Why we are staying behind? Because people say, you have just go and get into the parliament, go and do this, and you will be there. It doesn't happen that way. You can only do that by empowering women. So once again, I urge all of you to take action in your individual capacity and talk about women. Even the ladies, let's unite together to work together and raise women. So empower women. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Afia. I think you have got an understanding of how Maldivian women work and act. Now, may I request another next speaker, Mr. Danish. Danish Nazar, Director NASCO. And Danish is going to be speaking about e-waste management, which is a global approach to sustainable practice. Over to you, Danish.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you. And Devahi, that's what I learned the word here. So I will say that it's my pleasure to be here as a Singapore representative. And special thank to Dr. Halima, which made it possible with Dr. Hina, the friend, and to all the esteemed guests, especially those who are sharing the stage with me, Dr. Anara and Fatimat, Miss Fatimat, Dr. Abdul, and Hina, and all of us who are here. Yes, that's what I'll say, because I am very proud to be here, because all of us, not even one, we say all of us, whether it's women or men, we all are participating in this to contribute towards sustainability. Sustainability, what is it? It's all about how we do things for future in a very, very, very conserved way, saving what we have and giving what we can give to our society, our community, and our world. Now, on my topic, e-waste management, nascop.com, USA and Singapore, we work on waste management with sustainability. Means we try to teach or try to share our knowledge and our experience with people to know how they can play their vital role, a small part, by contributing towards waste management, towards, it could be electronic waste, it could be food waste, it could be any kind of waste which we can decrease. So once we decrease it, we make it more sustainable for a sustainable future. And I am really, really proud of all three women who said about women empowerment. I'm a very, very big supporter of women empowerment and youth development. And for that, I also work with Singapore as an initiative from Singapore government. Small part, I play a role in speaking about youth and women empowerment. And it's my honor to present and to be present with you all here, that I'm lucky to have so wonderful women in this room. Dr. Halima is a live example. I met her like 4 years ago. And since then till today, I see the energy she have and she's spreading awesome. That's what I have only word, awesome. As Madam said about women empowerment, in waste management, also women plays a very, very big role because most of them are mother, most of them are wives or sister or a friend. And if they understand what is waste management and they can teach, because they are the teacher, they are the first teacher in every man's life. Women is a teacher in every man's life. So once they understand what is e-waste or any kind of waste, they can control, they can educate what ma'am said, recycle, refurbish, reuse, and renew. When they teach, they learn the thing, they teach the thing to the youth, to their children, to their family members. That's what my work is done. And that's how we increase the knowledge about e-waste management. We, as in nascop.com, we are doing this not only in Singapore, we are doing it globally, and we are ready to be part with any country. Especially, we also work with B2B and B2G. So if any government needs any kind of support where we can play a vital role or we can play a small role, we are happy. As in Singapore or entity or as a US entity, we are happy to help. And I will end my speech because we have limited time. You have any question about waste management, you can directly approach me, or you can WhatsApp me, or you can take my details from Dr. Halima or our group. And I will really request all of you to participate in these kind of events, whether it's in Singapore, in Malaysia, in any part of the world, or in Maldives, so that you can also become one of our warriors for green revolution or for sustainable life for future. So thank you very much. With this, I will close my speech and I'll thank all of you, especially because these leaders are the future. They are creating the future and we all are part of it. So I'll just thank you, all of you. Devahi, that's what I know the word. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry about that, but thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We know now that NASCOP definitely will support women. And on behalf of us all and all the women in here, thank you for being a supporter for us all. Okay. Now, just to conclude, let me request Dr. Satta to please take over the mic here, or maybe anyways, okay, after you, Dr. Satta. I'm just trying to keep to the timing.
Assalamu alaikum. I think I'll reduce the time to walk there. Okay, maybe a few seconds I'll take off by sitting here, if you don't mind. I think we have till 12:15. Is that right? Oh, I don't want to take up all the time, but I'm just trying to ensure that this is the time. 12:15. Okay, so I'll just briefly to recap. I think women's empowerment, the whole idea, all of our four speakers, I think, noted the idea of empowerment of women and the role they will have to play. Hina certainly focused on capacity building and awareness on the circular economy. Whole idea of pollution can be reduced if we are more aware. And in that process, we will do justice to society to a great extent. The other thing is, Anara, Madam, you have a very tough role, but you have an opportunity also because you are in the parliament. You can advocate for these things much better than any one of us who are outside. You know, we are outsiders, so to say, even though we have democracy, we still are seen as outsiders, as bosses who are outsiders. Yeah, so that's a misnomer again in our understanding of democracy. So quiet strength, educating them, lifestyle, literacy, 1980s, domestic violence, turning its head up, and that can be a terrible thing. But I guess as time goes by, as society develops, as society's sense of of independence and liberalism pervades our minds, then we begin to complain much more. And so new ideas come to the fore. Madam Afia, I think you did a great point to raise the challenges of female entrepreneurship. And I think, yes, you have very touched my heart when you said when you were small, you helped your mother with all this. I think many of us are, I think it's a privilege to be able to be in that position because you understand. I know many people who had to go through hardships for them to realize the hardship of people who are now in hardship because you have experienced it. But I just wanted to ask Madam Afia one thing about you're doing a great job of looking after the young people and staying at home also. I'm not necessarily vying for that, but when I sometimes think our national economic assessments also don't take into consideration the valuation of the time women spend. Otherwise, you'd have to find an ayah or somebody to look after the children. And that means you go and earn 10,000 rupiah and then you pay half that stuff as payment for that person. So are you discounting these things? The value that women have in the household has to be judged and valued in that sense. Economic indicators must realize that their time is valuable. If you monetize it, they are doing a lot of service. They're earning essentially by reducing the cost of life in the household, right? The other thing, of course, is I have some thoughts about why women were so engaged in fisheries in the old days. 1970s, everybody brought the fish home. They had to cook, they dry, and make it into iron hard, rock hard fish before we can send it to Sri Lanka or someplace or bring it to body store to get the other condiments that we need to take home to Mali, right? So all that work. But with the sale of raw fish during the 1970s, with this Kokomar, all the Japanese trawlers, then women had nothing to do. Suddenly all that work was gone. And then sad to say, society changed by watching movies and all these trailers and Indian, you have all that, what do you call those? whatever, they have movies and everything. And then child care was important, but maybe that was neglected. But there are lots of things that come in between. But for us to realize that these are the realities of the dynamics of society is very important. Okay. And then Nazar, so Nazar, I think e-waste management is a very interesting thing. It's a very important thing, e-waste management. We don't even know how much of electronic gadgets now we have in our hands. And tomorrow, with the new one that comes in the next season, all those things, new model that comes, then everything is thrown away. And we don't realize that. There are, of course, people who demand also, I just want a new iPhone. No, I need the latest iPhone. And somebody said in Maldives, as Madam mentioned earlier, Maldives requires iPhones mostly. So that's also another thing. But electronic gadgetry is increasing. And obviously, we need it in our lives also as a new age arise. And but then the disposal of it is a very major issue, obviously. So thank you very much. I think it's been edifying for listening to these three ladies who are also, I'm sure, very supportive of ladies empowerment. Yeah. So to all of you, I hope this has been an edifying session, and may you have a good lunch break.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to this session, 2 participants. They all have done fantastically well, and we cannot stop clapping unless I ask you to stop, please. Yes, stop. Yes. So now this is the time for us, as I announced before, that golden mic. Please take your mobile and write your favorite speaker's name. Only one name is needed. Please do so. And thank you very much, the panelists. Thank you, Hina. Thank you, Afia. Thank you, Dr. Nara. Thank you, sir, for your valuable advices and words. We will click one photograph. So this is my proud privilege to express my thanks to Dr. Abdul Sattar Sir Sahab, who has not only given his valuable time, but he has inaugurated the conference, and at the same time, he has chaired the second session. Thank you very much, sir. And now, after this, we are going to have Salah break. And during Salah break, those who are not going for Salah, we have some fun activity for them. And I request my very lovely, sweet, energetic principal, although she doesn't look like principal, the people used to tell me also, you don't like principal, because principal never laugh.